Hi, my name is Sam. This is Ralph's greenhouse. Welcome to my radicchio field. I started growing radicchio at Local Roots Farm, where I worked for 4 years with Jason and Siri. And then when I moved to Ralph's greenhouse in 2016, I think, it's been 5 years. This is my 5th season here. I decided I would try growing radicchio because I realized that Local Roots in Western Washington has one of the most perfect climates for growing radicchio, and in particular growing radicchio that's sweet and beautiful. I think the cool summers, relatively cool summers, and cool nights in the fall produces a higher quality radicchio. So when you have a climate that's like built to produce a superior crop, it makes it a good wholesale opportunity. So I started growing it, and since then we've moved from growing about 2 acres to growing 4 acres. In that time, I've kind of had to stumble through learning what works for our markets. We grow for largely distributors, but a little bit of direct to grocery store clients too. And I really wanted to make Treviso the cool new thing, but I think that I should have started with what grocery stores were already doing, which is Chioggia, and then maybe starting to try to push more Treviso. So that's kind of the direction I've gone. I'm growing less Treviso now and more Chioggia and a little bit of Castelfranco, because mainly now it seems like because I want to eat it. So where we're standing right now is this is my latest. This is the whole field. We grew about 3 acres this year. Because of the restaurant's closure, I actually decreased the size of my planting this year because I think a lot of our radicchio, I don't really know, when you're growing wholesale and selling into distributors, you don't often know where all your radicchio is going, but I think a lot of it goes into restaurant and food service accounts, so I got a little scared and was able to decrease my planting size in time. So yeah, we grew about 3 acres, and it's planted, this side is the oldest, or not the oldest, they're all basically planted at the same time. This is the slowest maturing, and if you go that way, it's the fastest maturing, so we're picking down there right now. Right, we're standing in front of a block of Rubro, which is a hybrid variety from Bijou seeds. And I like that one because it's really slow. It's 150 days to maturity, and it's very uniform. It doesn't have a lot of disease pressure, and it stores well. So, yeah, we can move. They're not at all ready. They're in their cute teenage size. They're just starting to head up. But these will probably be ready. Sometimes you can find, in the OP varieties, you can almost always find some that are ready. They don't mature that evenly in my experience. With these ones, we'll almost all be ready at the same time, and we'll basically pick this field in 2 or 3 passes and put it into macro bins and put it into storage and sell it over the course of months, almost like what we do with cabbage. I don't think you'll find any that are ready. Over there, like you could see, can you tell that basically that's just the Treviso. That's like my last Treviso. So you could kind of see the difference in scale. Like there's just 5 rows there, and then this whole chunk here is a Chioggia variety. And then if we move down this way, I guess I could talk about how we plant it. So at Ralph's, we do most of our stuff. I end up fitting a lot of things into our leek planting system because that's what we have the tools for. So when we're growing that, we're growing on 24-inch rows because that's what we have transplanters for and cultivators for. I don't want, for my markets, I don't want like a gigantic 2-pound radicchio head. That doesn't work that well, so I'm trying to control their size by planting them a little closer. But I've got a lot to learn in that area. So this is all, this whole chunk, this little row. Uh-oh, you can see this. I think this looks like powdery mildew, right? I don't think I've seen that in radicchio before. So now we're entering, this is my late Lucia Castelfranco block. I think I have Cecilia and Borneo Tardivo. One is I don't remember which is which. One is a Lucia, late maturing Lucia, and one is a late maturing Castelfranco. But as you can see, even these are OP varieties. They look pretty disease-free so far, which is nice. But as you can see, like, they're pretty, like this one maybe is close to ready, and then mostly they're not. So there's like a lot less uniformity in the variety. So that's okay. It can be an advantage in some ways because it's not all ready at the same time, and so you can sell it slowly. On the other hand, we have to pass through to pick it all more times. Everything seems really early this year. I think we had a really hot September, even early October. So only now are we starting to get more normal weather. Okay, now we're back into Chioggia. This variety is 506. I grow 506 and 4050. I think one issue I had is they almost matured at the same time for me this year. So I have a little bit too much ready all at the same time. And I think 506 is a like intermediate storing variety. It does okay, but 4050 I don't think stores that well. So that's not ideal. Even though like their days to maturity are listed different, I need them to succession better. So I think that's the thing I'm still learning. When I visited TNT in Italy, one thing they said was, they were like, oh, you should transplant every 3 to 5 days as you get to the end of the radicchio, like at the end of the periods in which that specific variety wants to grow. And that's just not possible for me because we're getting our plants shipped from nurseries in California. We don't have the capacity to grow this scale of plugs on our farm. So it's been a challenge trying to figure out what slots work best for these like very kind of sensitive varieties. So there's a lot to learn there, but I've definitely had better luck with some of like the Bijou hybrids. To pick, we just bring wagons. You can see we keep these rows open like this, and we come through with a truck or a tractor with a wagon with bins, almost like you can see way over there. Those are wooden ones, but usually we use plastic. And people pick, and they toss them up to people standing on the wagons, and they gently put them into the bin. Sometimes we wash them right away, but often we store them for a couple weeks before we sell them, depending on variety. Castelfranco does not store them. Yeah. Thanks, I'm Sam. Thanks for visiting my radicchio field.